In any given room, there are three distinct types of people. One of them wears a mask so perfect that they've lost the ability to recognize their own deception. We typically define lying as a conscious, calculated transaction, a choice to hide a known fact. However, the human brain is capable of bypassing conscious thought to create a lie that it genuinely accepts as truth. This animated diagram illustrates an ancient psychological framework found in Ayat 6 through 20. It maps human consciousness into three distinct pathways based on how the mind processes the truth. This framework focuses on the specific psychological point where self-deception becomes indistinguishable from reality. Profile 1 represents the transparent believer. This serves as a baseline where internal truth and external action match perfectly. Profile 2 is the conscious disbeliever. As this diagram shows, their internal belief and external action overlap into a single, hardened state because they observe a truth and overtly reject it. Strictly from a psychological standpoint, this profile experiences no mental dissonance. The mind remains unified because the individual is honest about their rejection. The text describes their hearing and heart as being sealed, a state of absolute and conscious resistance. Conscious rejection is a stable psychological state. It requires no mental energy to maintain a contradiction, as the individual lacks any internal conflict. Profile 3 introduces the hypocrite. Here, a gap opens between what the tongue claims and what the heart holds. This gap often begins as a psychological survival mechanism, a way to satisfy opposing social groups while belonging to neither. This diagram visualizes cognitive dissonance. The attempt to house two directly opposing realities within one mind creates an agonizing mental friction, pulling these circles apart toward a breaking point. Maintaining this fragile architecture requires exhausting, continuous effort to prevent the external facade from collapsing. The hypocrite's mask develops as a desperate defense mechanism to survive within conflicting social realities. This leads to a specific threshold, the moment the hypocrite forgets they are lying. This loop illustrates the disease in the heart. Deception requires self-justification, expanding the original lie. Confronted with the corruption they cause, their mind processes these actions as peacemaking. The brain reconciles this stress by locking perception into alignment with false external actions. At this threshold, the mask ceases to be a disguise. It fuses to the psychology, eradicating the capacity for self-awareness. This results in psychological isolation. Having traded guidance for error, the individual is trapped in a paradox, surrounded by a fire that provides no illumination. Unlike the hypocrite, the conscious disbeliever can still change their mind because they are aware of where they currently stand. But Profile 3 is beyond correction. You cannot wake a person who is pretending to be asleep, especially once they have forgotten it is a pretense. This internal architecture serves as a tool for self-auditing rather than a lens to judge others. True defense against deception requires the constant auditing of our own minds to ensure our external projections haven't quietly overwritten our internal truth.